He's like, don't know. Didn't understand that. Anyway, goodbye. What the fuck is wrong with you, brother? We're gonna watch a rap video today. I haven't pre-watched it, but either way, I kind of know what it's about, and I think we can talk about it a little bit. Men. I mean, this is the title of the video, right? Men. Did this radicalize you? This promotes extremism. Can you guess what he's gonna talk about based on title and thumbnail? I could, because I saw tweet. Maybe he'll show the same tweets that I saw, or the same video that I saw. So I think I know.
What's up guys, Rev here. So in this video, we're gonna answer one simple question. Men.
Okay. Men. Answered. No. I like the idea that he's actually answering a question. Now I should hold that. We should hold that thought, because I want to know if he actually manages to answer any question, because he doesn't usually tend to do that. You saw that article before. I saw somebody talk about this article, and I think I have things to say about it. So that's why I'm gonna talk about that.
Does working out make you a Nazi? Yes, that is the main premise behind this article we're gonna look at in this video. So
is that the main premise behind the article? I haven't actually read the article. Maybe we should read the article too. We'll see. We'll see how much he shares of the article with us, and we'll see if we need to actually read the article. Yes. The answer is yes. But this is, so far, the way that I read the headline, with my human eyes, I see opinion, why the far right is really into home fitness. And doesn't seem like they're making the same equivalency that you're making. Maybe we should we read the article first? Did you link the article? I bet you didn't. Of course you fucking didn't, you ass. Right now, it appears the far right has taken advantage of. Okay, it's the same article. It starts the same way. I'm pretty sure it's the same article then. Okay, they just changed like how it looks like, I guess. Okay. Is the far right into fitness? Good. I hope the far left is also into it. If not, we'll have problems. That's exactly something I want to plummet into. I believe Shark or someone has talked about something similar to this before too. Hello, Type. Welcome. Yeah, I'll talk. I have opinions on this. I want to read the article first though, because I want to know what their opinions are before I can like respond to it. You know what I mean? Like Hassan exists. It's not like only like, obviously if you lift a weight, you're not gonna turn into a right winger. Hassan Piker exists. It appears that the far right has taken advantage of the pandemic at home fitness trend. From when is this article? Are you reacting to a really old article? Okay, I don't mind. To expand its decade-plus radicalization of physical mixed martial arts, MMA, and combat sports spaces. Not wrong, by the way. A lot of, I know my friend wanted to do like sport, like that sort of like MMA type, martial arts type, mixed martial arts, maybe just some type of martial arts. But the problem was every fucking, like 90% of the clubs run in the country, Jesus, calm down, in the city. I mean, he lives in a far right city, so that's kind of, that's on him, I guess. Kidding. A lot of the clubs in the city were being run by literal Nazis, so like, it's kind of tough. The article's very, very, very old, yeah. Yeah, I saw it. It's from 2022, not 2002. That would be super old. Earlier this month, researchers reported that a network of online fascist fitness chat groups on the encrypted platform Telegram, I use Telegram too, are recruiting and radicalizing young men with neo-Nazi and white supremacist extremist ideologies. No, that's literally true. That is literally true. That happens all the time. There's a lot of Nazis who run local, like in the city, they run these sorts of like groups. They do that. That's just the thing that happens. It happens more often with them than with like left-wingers putting their ideology into their like sports clubs. Sports clubs do have like a little bit of a problem with that. Initially lured with health tips and strategies for positive physical changes, new recruits are later invited to closed chat groups where far-right content is shared. Physical fitness has always been central to the far-right. In Mein Kampf, Hitler fixated on boxing and jiu-jitsu, believing they could help him create an army of millions whose aggressive spirit and impeccably trained bodies combined with fanatical love for the fatherland would do more for the German nation than any mediocre tactical weapon in training. And it is true, there is a link between these two things. Nazis are obsessed with physique. That's just the thing. Leftists are not all obsessed with physique. Does this mean that if you work out, you are a Nazi? No. Also, this fucking article is not stating that. It's just saying that people can be lured in. That happens all the time, by the way. People, especially young men, can be lured in with like the promise of self-help and like self-betterment, because young people in general, young men especially, are experiencing a mental health crisis at a global level, so they feel like shit. And people are like, hey, I have something to stop you feeling like shit. And this is, first of all, working out, which is true. That does help you. But then they package that together with their ideology, and that's how they get you. And that's a bad thing. I don't see anything wrong about this article yet. We'll see if we find more. In more modern times, far-right groups have launched mixed martial arts and boxing gyms in Ukraine, Canada, and France, and Germany, and other places, focused on training far-right nationalists in violent hand-to-hand combat. They do that. They do that. So far, I don't see a prescriptive statement in this article about fitness and home fitness, especially, at all. Now, if he talks about another article in his fucking video, and I read this entire thing, I'm gonna be so mad. Anyway, yeah, it's caught the attention of intelligence authorities, especially in Europe. It's a little bit of a thing, yeah. I've seen that before. Yeah, national sports associations and local gyms in places such as Germany. You gotta be careful with that, yeah. It's true. Germany mentioned! Woo! Sport has successfully advanced from murder to hate crime. Sport is Mord? No, Sport is hate crime. The US comparatively is far behind. True. I mean, I don't hear about that sort of stuff in the US as much, but then again, I've only heard about it literally locally, which will only become more and more problematic, especially since the phenomenon is growing in the country. Okay, you're talking about that. How long are you? It does happen a lot that they, like, intersect. People utilize this self-help stuff that's supposed to be, it's supposed to help you, with trying to get you into their fanatic ideas. The intersection of extremism and fitness leads into a shared obsession with the male body, training masculinity, testosterone, strength, and competition. I mean, that is a thing that the Nazis are very into. It's just a fact. They were always about, like, physical prime and everything. Physical fitness training, especially in combat sports, appeals to the far right for many reasons. Fighters are trained to accept significant physical pain, to be warriors, and to embrace messaging around solidarity, heroism, brotherhood. You can frame working out in such a more healthy way than they do. Even with this, I'm trying to see if they're gonna make a point. Oh, and to help for the coming race war. True, some people do frame it like that. That's true. Recruits are encouraged to link individual moral virtues such as willpower, decisiveness, and courage with the desire collective traits of virility and manliness. This also works in reverse, with white supremacists encouraging potential recruits or activists to stay in good physical shape as a way of managing self-preservation to the public. The neo-Nazi blogger Andrew Anglin advised his followers that fat people should be required to commit to losing weight if they are to stay involved with groups or in other gatherings, noting that continued obesity should not be tolerated. Jesus. See, that's something that the left will not say to you. Like, ever. Fitness, of course, is a staple and a hobby for many people, for whom it is enjoyable and rewarding for brain health and overall well-being. Physical fitness channels dopamine, adrenaline, and serotonin in ways that literally feel good, intertwining with those feelings with hateful and dehumanizing ideas while promoting the concept that physical warriors are needed to create the strength and dominance to defend one's people from a perceived enemy, makes for a dangerous and powerful cocktail for radicalization. Yeah, true. I mean, yeah, literally. The person who wrote this article, Cynthia, states, I don't know if we're on first name basis, Miss Miller Idris, states, fitness is good, but if you wrap it up into ideology that is hateful, harmful, etc., then it can become dangerous. Ooh, shocker. Shockers. Get those gains, not the hate. Yeah, class-wide solidarity. This big brain time. Sorry for the silly rhyme. Don't worry. I love the silly rhymes. We're a little silly on Fridays. I'm a little silly today, too. For those of us working to find better paths to reach at-risk youth, understanding the ways that the far-right groups recruit and socialize youth in a way that goes well beyond rhetoric and ideas is crucial. That's true, because young people don't give a shit. A lot of young people don't give a shit about politics, but they'll be, like, lured in by the promise of, like, a club, young people go to clubs all the time. Like, how many young people do sports? A lot of them. Like, oh yeah, I'm doing handball, I do soccer, I do this, I do that, I do the other. Tons of people do. And then if it's linked to ideology, it is very bad. Well, we're gonna go back to talking about Rev after we finish this article, so we know what he's talking about. It's critical that leaders, including parents, physical trainers, gym owners, coaches, and others in the fitness world understand how online grooming and recruitment can intersect with spaces that we generally think is promoting health and well-being. The realm of online fitness now provides an even newer and ever-expanding market for reaching and radicalizing young men, and it requires our targeted focus and resources to stop the cycle. Slay. Yeah, I don't think in this article, I don't think she said anything in this article that I disagree with. Now let's see what Ref says about it. I guess it was a good article. I don't know. I don't have any notes on that article. How are you gonna spin this in a way that it's bad?
So for some reason this week, MSNBC decided to re-promote an article that
they re-promoted it. Okay, that's why. Because I was wondering why he was covering this when it's so old.
Posted in late 2022, and it is absolutely
Actually, it was in March 2022, which would not be late.
Insane. It finally got the attention that it wanted back from last year. Unfortunately, that attention is negative, and everyone is dunking on this insane article.
Did you read the same article that I just read? It's literally tame. The article is literally so tame. Like, I'm not just... Like, I know that I'm far left and everything, but, like, even from a centrist perspective, I don't think this article is intense at all. What the fuck? Huh? How is this insane? I do not get it. Should we speed him up like a tiny... No, we'll keep it slow.
Wow. I guarantee we'll definitely get a source for that outrageous claim, right?
Okay, yeah, I don't know if there was any sources. It's true. It would be nice if we had some sources on that, but, like, I don't know. I've seen it. I know that a lot of local sports clubs in my city and the city that my friend is in, the city that I used to study in, I know that a lot of them are run by literal Nazis that are, like, convicted and or wanted for various crimes that they've committed, like, legitimately. I just know that. So, like, for me, I have some sources. This is just a general trend that people know about. I feel like you don't necessarily need, like...
Spoiler alert, no, we're not. But let's go on and see the justification for this this thesis that MSNBC is trying to push with this opinion piece. So it says, initially lured with health tips and strategies for positive physical changes, new recruits are later invited to closed chat groups where far-right content is shared. Now, knowing the media, what is far-right content? I mean, these are the...
Are you gonna argue that it's gonna be like an image of Pepe or something? Are you gonna argue that? Oh my god. This video is gonna be so fucking funny, dude.
Saying people think like Pepe the Frog is a symbol of hatred, okay?
I know these people too well. I feel my brain tingling in a bad way. I know these people way too well. Oh no, I saw it coming. It's not pre-watched, I swear. Most of these guys are way too old to send Pepe the Frog, first of all. They're not like internet people like that.
Vision of what far right is pretty expansive. But keep in mind, guys, when we go through this article...
Nobody thinks that sending a singular image of Pepe the Frog is far-right dog whistling anymore. They don't do that. They don't do that anymore. That's old news. That was 2016. We've successfully reclaimed our frog. Thank you very much.
You have to trust my word, because every day I log into social media and I'm called alt-right and a Nazi because apparently my views of being an advocate for free speech is relating to the core tenets of the alt-right, apparently.
I wonder why, brother. Yeah, I wonder why you're being called that. That's real weird. Like, I log into the internet every day too, and I don't know, I don't get called that, usually.
And then trying to radicalize them is something that is very well known, and it has nothing to do with fitness exclusively. They use this for every interest and hobby out in the world.
Yeah, but fitness is especially, fitness and self-help is a sector of interests that especially appeals to people who are open and susceptible to being indoctrinated into a harmful ideology. Because if you feel sad, alone, weak, I guess, you're gonna wanna have an ideology like far-right Nazism that is like, you are great because you are an Aryan fighter. You're the best, actually. All these people, they're below you just because of who they are. And you're the best, and you're one of us because we're all Aryan fighters. It's literally how it works. It's like 101. Everybody knows this. Literally. Everybody does.
That's a key way to radicalizing people, is reaching out through their interest to gain their trust and their attention. And there's nothing unique about fitness, but this article will try to frame it as if there's some magical component about physical fitness that is linked to Nazis.
it's not even, like, that's not even what they're saying. They're not even saying this is the only space where this happens, only in fitness. They're literally just stating the fact that I also just stated, which is that people who are looking to better themselves and feel kind of lost, they turn to fitness, you know, they turn to, like, clubs, they are looking for community, and then they're susceptible. And young people are susceptible. I explained it already, I'm not going to reiterate it again.
That's why it's an outlier here. So they go on to say, earlier this month, researchers reported that a network of online fascist fitness chat groups on the encrypted platform Telegram are recruiting and radicalizing young men with neo-Nazi and white supremacist extremist ideologies. Initially lured with health tips and strategies for positive physical change, new recruits are later invited to closed chat groups. They're basically repeating themselves here. But yeah, this is the whole premise here, that there is this underlying group of Nazis recruiting people in with physical fitness. And this is a big problem. We all need to be paying attention.
Yes, it literally happens a lot. And you don't know that, so you think it doesn't exist, I guess. Is that your point? Your debunk of this article is like, well, never happened to me. Never happened to me, so, like, I don't think it's a problem, because personally, never happened to me. Cool, sure, yeah, that's how things work.
Oh, they go on to say, physical fitness has always been central to the far right. In Mein Kampf,
it is.
Hitler fixated on boxing and jiu-jitsu, believing they could help him create an army of millions who...
Having, like, they're very, very focused on, like, ideals from the antique, did you say that? From, like, antiquity. They're very obsessed with antiquity. And, like, back then, you know, you gotta be, like, in your physical prime, that sort of thing. Like, the marble statues. That's why right-wingers really like the marble statues. This is the same argument. I bet he's gonna go, like, what? This person is saying physical fitness is always far right? No, far right is always obsessed with physical fitness. Unless they're being hypocritical. But if you, actually in the roots of the far right, physical fitness is a central component of it, which is what they're saying. Yeah, I bet that's something.
Whose aggressive spirit and impeccably trained bodies, combined with fanatical love of the fatherland, would do more for the German nation than any mediocre tactical weapons training. That is an insane statement. We all know.
Is it, though? Or is it literally a fact?
Know that Adolf Hitler was the zenith of physical perfection.
No, but in his tenets, just because you put physical fitness as, like, your main thing, the main thing that your ideology strives for, like, that's like saying, well, the Nazis really liked, you know, blue eyes and blonde hair. No, actually they did not, because Hitler didn't have blue eyes and blonde hair. This makes no sense. You're saying, no, this is not in Mein Kampf. Hitler couldn't have possibly written this. Do you know that? Did you read it? Are you saying this is not written in the book? What's your source for that? Legitimately, I'm sure that's in the book. Anyway.
He was quite the athlete, as he walked around with a beer belly and also was on a bunch of drugs pretty much 24/7.
You can be on drugs and be an athlete, excuse me? What the fuck?
But yeah, this idea that because Hitler wanted to train his soldiers to be physically fit, that somehow being physically fit makes you a Nazi, or is a core tenet of what...
That is not what anybody ever said, ever. Idiot. Yeah, Körperkult. Yeah, it's extremely a Nazi thing. You can't claim Nazis weren't obsessed with it. They literally were. Like, have you seen fucking Triumph des Willen or whatever the fuck it's called? We did. Triumph des Willens. Yeah. Have you seen Triumph des Willens? This is a fucking... How long? It has a runtime. This is a movie about that a good section of it is dedicated towards displaying these are 114 minutes of displaying of, like, the greatness of the Nazi regime, and a good section of that is dedicated towards physical fitness and looking, like, pristine, and this is the pristine, the perfect German citizen, the creature, man, guy, dude. Like, they are obsessed with it. And just because you don't know about that and you think that isn't real doesn't make it any less real, brother.
Indoctrinating people and radicalizing them. Gyms are not the only place this happens.
Yeah, gyms are not the only place this happens, but so you agree then. Gyms are a place where this happens. Yes? You agree that there's a problem that this is happening in gyms, so we should probably talk about it then. Yes? Would you say that you agree with that then? It sure sounds like you are, in fact, agreeing with it. And it's not about self-defense in this case. It is about this like, ideal that they have, that they try to chase, and that is rooted in an ability to be, like, a combat dude, a fighter dude, whatever. Yeah, I'm sure he's gonna make a good point sometime. I mean, there's still, like, almost 10 minutes of this video left. I'm sure he's gonna make a succinct point against this article. He's really gonna get it, I think.
Like crazy. But the intersection of extremism and fitness leans into a shared obsession with the male body, training, masculinity, testosterone, strength, and competition. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you care about things like competition and training your body and being disciplined, well, you're an extremist.
You're like turning around the statement. That's not, that you can't do that with a statement. You cannot just reverse the statement. Like, oh, well, this is this is what's happening. So obviously, because this is happening, that is actually the other way around. Like, brother, you're flipping things around in your head the entire time. It says the intersection leans into an existing obsession, which is the Nazi obsession. This does not mean this is the obsession that the Nazis have. This does not mean that it's also applicable to the opposite. Okay, this is not how it works. You're just saying things. You're saying things that are rooted in absolutely nothing. Again, I called this segment what I called this segment for a reason. It's called Rev makes up a straw man and then gets angry at it. Because you're just flipping things around that are being said in this article. He always does this. He does. It sounds like he's summing it up, but he's actually just saying the opposite of, well, like, not the opposite, but like the inverse of what is written there.
I hate to say it. I hate you had to find out in this video that you're an extremist, but yeah, working out, caring about your body, and treating yourself right, and pushing yourself, and competing, that's extremism. You're an alt-right extremist. I wonder if they have the same...
That's not what I say, dude. Like, what else am I supposed to say in response to this? This is not what is being said. I do wonder, though, if he actually doesn't get it. Like, if he fragile ego, whatever, where he, like, sees something like this and like, oh my god, I've worked out before, fuck. They are calling me specifically an extremist, or if he's just, I don't know, trying to get a cheap dunk in, I guess.
The leader of a Maryland skinhead group, for example, once ran a gym to recruit and train white supremacists in mixed martial arts.
Yeah, it happens. I bet that linky would probably bring you a source too.
So here's the thing that's crazy. What if they owned a restaurant to promote and radicalize?
A restaurant? How is a restaurant comparable to a fucking club? What? He's trying to debunk this fact, first of all. I guess he's trying to debunk the link between this fact and the rest of the article, even though it's literally it's very clearly linked. But, like, a restaurant usually does not cultivate a community. Like, you go to a restaurant, you're not like a part of the family, you're not a part of the team. It's literally a team, like a fighting team, whatever. Like, you're on a team, you go there for team sports or for team exercise. You build community in, like, places where you exercise. You don't build community in a restaurant. I'm sorry, that's not what restaurants are for. That's not a thing that happens. And, like, how are you gonna end of sentence. It's a very bad comparison. There you go.
People are like restaurants now, going to a restaurant to have a meal. Is that like a pipeline to the alt-right? It's so crazy to me.
Unlikely. Highly unlikely. Because they're not... Again, yeah, they're not trying to establish a sense of community with restaurant goers.
Make these people sound so much more important than they actually are. And then, of course, they're going on to January 6th. Let's not even...
Why don't you want to talk about January 6th? Why do you dismiss January 6th? It doesn't matter.
The intersection of extremism and fitness leans into a shared obsession with the male body, training, masculinity, testosterone, strength, and competition. Physical fitness training, especially in combat sports, appeals to the far right for many reasons. Fighters are trained to accept significant physical pain, to be warriors, and embrace messaging around solidarity, heroism, and brotherhood. How far have we fallen where traits like solidarity, heroism, and brotherhood are demonized and painted as extremism?
They're not, the traits themselves are not being demonized, not in this article, not anywhere, literally just in your brain. They are saying that the Nazis, the right-wingers, use these traits in order to appeal to people. That these traits are core tenets of the Nazis, because they're like, yes, solidarity, heroism, brotherhood, the Aryan brotherhood, being that brotherhood, by the way, they appropriate these terms and twist them into their, like, wicked, weird little delusions. It's not the entire world who now thinks these things are bad. It's them twisting them for their own purposes. Obviously, they're not gonna like the Nazis are not gonna be like, oh yeah, we are the bad guys, come join us. Obviously, they're not gonna promote themselves like that. An ideology is never gonna promote themselves with like negative buzzwords. What do you think they're gonna use, huh? Like obviously, they're gonna take positive buzzwords that are positive on the surface and in their general meaning, and then they're just gonna twist them up and pervert them into their own little, like, thing. You know what I mean? But, okay. Go ahead.
I can only imagine the kind of wimps who these people want all of us to be. These...
Oh, yeah. Of course, that's the natural conclusion if you go through, like, this article with sort of, like, an inversion like this in your mind. The only... nowhere is this being said. Nobody's saying this. Nobody's thinking this. You are fighting an invisible demon that you made yourself. Calm down.
Spineless cowards. I mean, I can literally hear the soy dripping off of the person who wrote this article. There is nothing wrong. Like, if you don't want to go to the gym and just live your life, that's totally fine. But for a lot of people, it's a great experience. And the thing is, these traits are good.
They literally said it's a great experience. They say it gives you dopamine and they say it's good for your mental health. They said everything like that later on in the article. They say that in the article. They're not saying don't go to the gym. They're saying we should be wary of right-wing groups trying to exploit places such as the gym for their recruitment. That's all that they're saying. That's the only thing they're saying.
Good traits. And I feel like a person making this article has no understanding of what physical fitness is, okay? So they probably...
You are not at the end of the article. Like, he just, he didn't FD signifier and he fell asleep before he read the last part. It's like, sorry. Very EP right now. Must peace out. Bye. I cannot finish reading this article. I wonder if he gets to that and just like says something else about it.
Imagine every single person at the gym is some meathead dude walking in with a liter of a water jug, and they're grunting and lifting super heavy weights, when fitness is a lot more diverse than that. It takes many different forms. I mean, some of the most jacked dudes I've ever seen are guys who focus on things like yoga, aerobics, and other things that typically aren't viewed as like masculine, super testosterone-filled activities. But people like this just have this weird all-or-nothing view of fitness as...
No. End of statement. No. That is not what's being said. You are making shit up. Stop making shit up, dude. Thank you.
It's like a juice head activity. But going down here, they say the neo-Nazi blogger Andrew Anglin advised his followers that fat people should be required to commit to losing weight if they want to stay involved with groups or in-person gatherings, noting that the continued obesity should not be tolerated. Again, like, who is this person? You are acting like this random wing...
It's an example of something that is a widespread problem. What else do you want? First they're like, I want sources. Then they cite a source. He's like, ew, the fuck? Why are you bringing this rando into this? Huh? Like, what else are you supposed to do? Like, okay, this is an example of this happening. And you don't like that because you don't know who Andrew Anglin is, I guess. I don't know who that guy is either. So what?
Nut is representative of all people working out.
Nobody says that.
Like, why are you...
Nobody says that at all, actually. God, that's 2 times removed from the fucking point. Like, what am I supposed to say to you? Learn how to read.
Giving this person attention, this guy who's trying to control, who's showing up to their meetings, the neo-Nazi meetings. I don't even know who this individual is, and apparently they want to, like, act like he's some powerful individual. People like this love to see themselves end up in an article on a mainstream news platform like this. It's very validating to them, and it's so funny that these people literally make boogeymen out of some weird blogger who's probably saying some complete nonsense.
It's literally just an example of the behavior. That's all that it is. Internet.
But moving on, the next paragraph says, we're seeing extremist fighting culture being combined with an entertainment culture that already valorizes violence and hypermasculinity. I wonder what they're referring to with this statement. Like, are you talking about video games?
Yeah, video games are mentioned, like, later on with that, I guess. Andrew Anglin is an editor of the Daily Stormer. I don't know that either, but sounds like he's a dude that gets around, in his circles. So why not mention him in this article?
Movies, things like rap culture, like, are those to blame? In combination with extremist...
No, they're just saying that they're saying these are the avenues that right-wing propaganda takes. You're flip-flopping it. You're flip-flopping it backwards.
Fighting culture. I think fighting culture is a part of many different cultures. I don't understand what's so unique about this extremist end of it, but nonetheless...
The unique thing about the extremist end of fighting culture is that they're fucking Nazis, brother. Like, yeah, you can go boxing and have a good time and be physically fit. I mean, boxing is kind of I don't really like boxing myself that much, but because you get like seriously injured in that fight, even if you're just trying to like enjoy the sport or whatever, you get injured oftentimes. But like the extremist part, the part that sets the extremist fighting culture apart is that it's being run by Nazis who peddle their ideology. That's literally what the fucking article explained to you previously. That's the part.
My brain cells are frying. Can you guys see the wheels falling off here? Like, it actually gets a little bit disorienting trying to read these articles, but let's finish.
This article was super straightforward. This was not a complex article, buddy. What the fuck? Yeah, the Daily Stormer is a neo-Nazi message board, basically. That makes a lot of sense. The name sure does sound like that. Also runs as a news site, yeah. So he's very, very bad. Makes a lot of sense.
Finish it up. With recruitment now moving from physical gyms to chat rooms, live-streamed fights, tournaments, festivals, and even combat sports video games. Of course, video games get dragged in.
Oh my god, video games were mentioned. Whole point invalid. You mentioned video games. God forbid anything negative ever happens in relation to video games.
We're seeing extremist fighting culture being combined with an entertainment culture that already valorizes violence and hypermasculinity. What is with these articles and repeating themselves? They just copy and pasted this whole statement here and then just reposted it right here.
Yeah, that's why I found the article to be very, very straightforward. If they repeat themselves a lot, I feel like, yes, I don't know what that necessarily adds, but like it makes it very easy to read because it's like, okay, yeah, it's this thing. Remember? Yeah, this thing. Okay, cool.
Nonetheless, moving on. Fitness, of course, is a staple and a hobby for many.
There it is. You did get to the fucking last sentence of it.
It is enjoyable and rewarding for brain health and overall well-being. Physical fitness channels dopamine, adrenaline, and serotonin in ways that literally feel good, intertwining those feelings with hateful and dehumanizing ideas while promoting the concept that physical warriors are needed to create the strength and dominance to defend one's people from a perceived enemy makes for a dangerous and powerful cocktail of radicalization. That is a lot of word salad, ladies and gentlemen. What the hell did I just read? You know what? I'm not even reading the final paragraph. I've had...
He reads this thing and then it's like, I don't know. I don't know. I got a little tired. Oh my god, Zecke, you were right. Did you pre-watch this video? He's like, don't know. Didn't understand that. Anyway, goodbye. What the fuck is wrong with you, brother? It literally, It just like, it said it. This is like, I don't know, this is like 7th grade English or something. It's not complicated. I don't know what you don't understand in this fucking sentence. I mean, apparently you didn't understand the entire article, but like this sentence sums it up. It literally states, fitness is good. It makes you feel good. So using these spaces where you do activity that makes you feel good for peddling your stupid Nazi propaganda is pretty dangerous, because then you make those neural connections in your brain between, feel-good fitness and Nazi propaganda, and that's bad. How is this hard to understand? What are the big words in this? Like, brother, I don't know what's hard to understand about this at all. I don't know how you could phrase it any simpler than this sentence. This is insane. Like, reading comprehension minus 1,000. He's just like, got tired. Anyway, you still have, like, 2 minutes. What are you gonna say now?
Had enough. Like, this is absolutely insane to me. So, like, you know, guys...
You know, your reading comprehension is insane to me. Like, honestly, though, it's literally not hard. I'm actually confused how you cannot understand. I guess if it makes too much sense, maybe he can't comprehend it because then he can't twist it around in his head anymore, and that way he's unable to read it in his weird, like, skewed reading of the entire article because it was too clear. I guess?
I'm gonna come clean, okay? On my Twitch streams, sometimes we have workout streams where we spin a little wheel with different exercises and we do them together. But I'm gonna be forthright since you guys are, indoctrinated by me. The whole point...
Funny because they are, though. They kinda are, though.
Is to radicalize you guys. That's the whole point, right? Like, when I'm telling you guys to do lunges together, right? We're doing lunges. That's not a physical activity. It's actually an indoctrination process. I am teaching you to lunge away from women's rights. To
You're so silly. You're so unserious.
Lunge away from including people and being inclusive. Like, it's so ridiculous. We're at the point where we're demonizing people working out. I mean, come on.
Literally, that last paragraph that you just read told you the opposite, but you said meh, and I didn't get it, and moved on. Honestly, yeah, you're right, Omen. so much stupidity, because if you're overwhelming your opposition with so much stupidity, like, what is a person meant to say to this? You can explain it 50,000 different ways and they're still gonna come to the same conclusion because they're not listening. They don't give a shit. They're not listening to you. They're not trying to understand what you're saying. People like Rev are gone. People like Rev are so fucking gone. If you read that fucking paragraph and you don't get what it's saying, or pretend not to get what it's saying, you're gone. There's nothing you can, like, there's nothing I can do for you. There's nothing, nobody can do anything for you.
There is nothing unique about fitness that makes it some sort of an extremist, exploitative tool for them to indoctrinate people. It's just hobbies and interests that they use.
That's literally what they wrote. That's literally what they wrote.
Not for everyone, but personally, when I go to the gym, I feel great.
Yeah, that's what they wrote. That's literally what they said. This is literally what they said.
Everyone goes to the gym for a bit of vanity, right? Everyone wants to look good going to the gym.
Not necessary. I don't think everybody goes to the gym for vanity. Like, legitimately, I don't think that is true. It's mostly for health, I feel like. Vanity can play a part in it. Yeah, sure. I don't care if people want to look good. Sure, do your thing. But also not what people are saying. No.
The main reason I go is mental health. Okay, I go to the gym.
Yeah. That's also what the article says. You agree with this article unless until it gets to the part where they explain to you that right-wingers exploit these ideas, and you're like, no, actually they don't. But you don't even say that, because you just flip it around and argue against something that's not being said instead. And then when they bring up examples, you say, I don't know that guy, and brush it off somehow. This is so dumb.
Gym basically every single day, because I know when I go, I'm going to feel better mentally when I leave.
Yeah,
that doesn't happen with everyone, but I know a lot of people are like me, and that's why the gym is so important to me.
That's what they said in the article.
It has nothing to do with political views. It's not indoctrinating me. It's not doing anything like that. And to suggest otherwise is insane.
They didn't.
But that's going to do it with this video. I hope you guys got a laugh out of this article. Crazy
no,
stuff.
I only
Share your
got
thoughts
a laugh
about
out of
today's
you,
article
brother.
in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.
Nobody asks like any questions about this. It's like, yeah, he read this well. He read this article well. I mean, I'm sure they didn't go and read the article themselves, because how would they? He didn't link it. He didn't link the full article. If you make a video going over one article, you can at least link the fucking article, okay? None of these are links to the article. It would have saved me like 2 minutes of Googling. Thank you very much. Next time, please do link the article. You fucking idiot. Personal news tie into this, because I want to start working out a little bit in order to be a good Antifa super soldier. So, clearly. Now I do want to get back into fitness a little bit more for health. Yes, for health reasons, obviously. Because I want to be a bit stronger when the time for the revolution comes, baby. Yeah. That's all. That's what I wanted to tell you. So Ring Fit stream? Nah, actual working out. No hate to Ring Fit though, but just like more walks, and then maybe I'll get some weights, like small weights, obviously, maybe home workout. I lost every arm wrestling fight I've ever partaken in so far, and I feel like we should like try to not do that anymore,